Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Buzz Bowling Arena. You are just in time for tonight's National Anthem. The National Anthem prior to tonight's doubleheader for 6A Central basketball featuring your Conway Lady Cats and Wampus Cats and Little Rock Central's Tigers. I'm Jeff Matthews. Levi Gilbert's next to me. Our entire Conway Corp Sports crew is here. We're ready for a night of basketball. It's been a while. We waited a really long while. Then we had a game. Then we had to wait 2 more weeks. Now we got a game.
Yeah, it's been a long 2 weeks. I feel like we got to get reintroduced and I feel like it's our first game all over again almost.
The Little Rock Central Lady Tigers come into the game struggling. They're 4-9 overall. They are 0-4 in conference play. Your Wampus Cats and Lady Cats both are still playing very good basketball. Lady Cats come into tonight's game 14-4 overall. They're 3-1 in conference play. Levi, the last time that we saw them, we talked about this upcoming schedule of 3 road games: at Northside, at North Little Rock, at Cabot, and at Northside. And so they went 2-1, which, not bad.
That's pretty great.
Yes, yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of thought it might have been a 1-2 road trip because it was such a tough road trip. So I'm happy with how they came out.
Here are the starters being introduced by Tim Roach. Tim Roach is the public address announcer here at Buzz Bowling Arena and introducing the starters there. And a slight change, of course, still no Jaden Thomas because of the injury to her ankle. She's in a walking boot and she's on the sideline. But also tonight, Jada Pickens not in the starting lineup, and she's been playing some good basketball for Coach Ashley Hutchcraft. So the starters are Lydia York, Chloe Clardy, T. Rector, Kalana, I knew I was going to say her name wrong, Kalana King, and Savannah Scott. There are your starters. So Jada Pickens out of the starting lineup tonight and replaced by Kalana King.
Out of the lineup and not dressed out, so
Okay.
not on the bench either.
So no Jada Pickens tonight. We'll see how that affects this team. The Lady Cats come in off of the loss at Northside. They lost 75-56. It was closer than the 19 points would indicate, though.
Yeah, at halftime they only trailed by 2 points. It was a strange game, Jeff. I was looking into the stats, trying to figure out what happened in that second half. This is an interesting strategy here. Just
That was odd.
Completely conceding the tip. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
But talking about that Northside game, free throw disparity, Lady Cats only had 3 free throw attempts on the night compared to 28 attempts for Northside. Very, very strange.
T. Rector with the first 2 points of the night. Savannah Scott gets a hand on it. Starters for Little Rock Central: Jordan Head, Elise Smith, Lillian Jackson, Lauren Pendleton, and Jakiah Woods. Lauren Pendleton, number 24, is their best player. And I believe there is a timeout going to be called by Michael B. Green, head coach of the Tigers. We'll take it with them. 30-second timeout, and we're back on Conway Court. All right, update on Jada Pickens. She is down there. She's just not dressed out for tonight's game. So get that little report in there accurately. And so
breaking news.
Breaking news. She's head down there. She's on the bench. She's just not playing tonight. All right, Lydia York looking for three. Out of bounds.
Lydia York coming off of one of her better games of the season. Had 8 points at Northside.
That Northside team is the number 1 team in the state right now. 15-3, 4-0, and they are pert near impossible to beat at home. We'll get a chance against them here in a couple of weeks. That game here is on February 18th, and if you're going to make it out for one night of basketball at Buzz Bowling Arena, let that be the night you're here, February 18th. So Chloe Clardy's at the free throw line. Well, she's been playing some great basketball, to say the least. 2 30-point games back-to-back. 31 against Northside, 30 against Cabot. She's averaging 27 a game in conference play.
Which is about 8 points above her season average.
Yeah, she's really stepped it up.
Yeah.
The steal. Lady Cats up 4-0. Layup is missed. That's Pendleton. Good pass underneath to Jackson. And the first two of the night for Little Rock Central. Chloe Clardy for three. Front of the rim, no good. Savannah Scott can't control the rebound. It's out of bounds to Little Rock Central. Lady Cats ranked number 3 in the state according to the Democrat Gazette in last Sunday's paper. I would think that the one loss on the road to Northside probably wouldn't do much to drop them out of that 3 spot.
I would think not, because the two teams, at least in the state of Arkansas, that have beat them, or at least 2 of the 4 losses they've had, have been your number 1 and your number 2 with Northside and Bentonville.
And then one of the other losses was to the team ranked number 6 in the nation, DeSoto. West Memphis got them as well, but it's been a great year. A lot of youth. Not a good look inside. It's taken away by Little Rock Central. Jordan Head. Looks like she turned the ball over, but will keep control. That's Pendleton from 14. In and out, no good. Out of bounds, and it will be Conway basketball.
I think the biggest challenge for these Lady Cats now through the remainder of this first half of conference play is you got through that rough stretch.
That's right.
You played the top 3 teams in your conference all in a row on the road, and now you come home and it's not the same level of competition, but you've got to keep that energy up and don't allow yourself to get into the quote-unquote trap game.
Yeah, and it's a sloppy start. I mean, this is 3.5 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in. It's not what we're used to seeing from these Lady Cats, and so Coach Hutchcraft won't let it be that way for long. 10 seconds.
That's the thing they can always rely on, though, in times of offensive struggles, is that pressure defense.
5 minutes to play, opening quarter. Savannah Scott on the block. Too strong. Pendleton stepped with it. Turnover, going to give the ball back to Conway. Lady Cats will be on the road on Tuesday night against Mount St. Mary, and then home, home against Bryant a week from tonight. Clardy for three, bottom of the net. Chloe Clardy. They played Tuesday night's game in front of Razorback head coach Mike Neighbors. He was in the stands to watch the talent on both sides of the court.
A lot to watch.
A lot to watch.
A lot to watch at one time.
Tracy Brashears and Jersey Wolfenbarger, both Division I players for Northside. Conway with multiple Division I players as well.
Both of those players you mentioned, juniors, by the way, so still have a whole other year of seeing them.
Woods with the miss. Three-point basket that goes for Chloe Clardy. She's finding the range. Again, back-to-back 30-point games for the freshman.
Wonder about her engine a little bit. She doesn't stop.
No.
She does not stop on the floor. She comes down, hits the quick three, instantly causing trouble on the defensive side.
She's young, so I guess she's got plenty of energy. But
as young as you can be to play in
that's
high
right,
school.
yeah. I was visiting today, actually, with my girlfriend's son is a ninth grader and plays on the ninth grade blue basketball team. And he's gone to school with and is really good friends with Kyler Spencer, ninth grader, of course, that we'll see play for the varsity. And I was asking him, how does Kyler get to practice? Like, how do just little things like that? I mean, they take their classes on the junior high campus because they're ninth graders. And so he was telling me that they bus them over. So you've got both Chloe Clardy and Savannah Scott and Kyler Spencer and whatever other ninth grade athletes come over.
And the advantage you have for Chloe and Savannah is that you have someone in Jaden Thomas that's a year ahead of you
That's
that
right.
Just did the same thing a year ago that can help kind of show you the way.
I'm sure there's been one recently, but it'd take a while for me to remember the last ninth grade boy that we had. Shot is off the glass and in. It's 10-4. It's one of those nights that you can help us out. Fill up the YouTube chat or find us on Twitter or Facebook. Anybody remember who was the last time that we had a ninth grade guy that played significant minutes like Kyler Spencer is?
Yeah, I don't recall having one in the years I've been back.
Yeah, and I don't remember. Haley Malcolm checks into the game. Savannah Scott will check out. Played the first 5 minutes, so she'll get a chance to rest a little bit. Loose ball, and it will stay on this end. This is our first traditional live broadcast. We were live 2 weeks ago for basketball in a while, but we were live 2 weeks ago, but everything got pushed up because of the weather.
Right.
Things got started early, and they were running clocks, and it was just all going so fast. And so a Friday night, 6 o'clock tip-off, feels good.
I got to my house before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that was strange, wasn't it?
And I told my wife, this will never happen again.
Don't get used to this. 10-4. Lady Cats are up. Chloe Clardy, quick hands. Out to Curry. That's Pendleton. Again, she's their best player, guard, junior. Coming off an 18-point game at Cabot on Tuesday night. Ball out of bounds off of Lillian Jackson. And it will be Lady Cat basketball. That's Tijuana Rector. T dribbles in. Skip pass to York. Lydia for three. Got it.
Point basket, Lydia York.
She is a confident shooter of the basketball. Shoots 25% from beyond the three-point line.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I see a former Lady Cat assistant coach in the house tonight?
T. Rector with the 3. You did, yes. Jeff Gifford, head man at Bauxite.
Bigelow.
Or Bigelow, rather. Yeah, Bigelow, the other B. Bigelow, and had a chance to visit with him just real briefly. Yeah, it was good to see him. He's having some great success across the river. Whistle and a foul.
I still get to see him pretty regularly on Sundays, but first time seeing him back in here. I guess Bigelow had the night off tonight.
Lauren Hill getting ready to check into the game. Pendleton with the free throw. Into the game is Lauren Hill. And Jakaya Woods back in for the Lady Tigers. Second free throw is good. It's a 10-point lead for the Lady Cats. Chloe Clardy leading the way with 8 and a couple of three-pointers. Clardy and 1. Chloe Clardy in the paint.
Lady Cats now 2 points away from that magical quarter number.
That's right.
20-point quarters. They had 3 20-point quarters. I believe it was at Cabot. No, I was at North Little Rock. That first road game.
First road game of the 3. Good steal. King with the steal. Clardy. Soft off the glass. Chloe's got 13 in the first quarter. Lady Cats up 21-6. Ten seconds.
I always love when we play
Coach Green
Central because I love I love watching the reactions of Coach Michael B. Green.
Yes.
And he just threw his hands up. I don't know. You guys got to figure that out.
York, the dish to King. Gets her own rebound. Under a minute to play, first quarter. Lady Cats out to a 21-6 advantage. Rector. Can't get it to fall. The rebound to Linwood. King with the board. York pulled it down. Skip pass to Clardy. Chloe fouled and will go to the free throw line. She is a 70% free throw shooter. Already with 13 tonight.
The challenge for teams trying to defend her is that she's not one-dimensional in scoring. And you saw it right there. I mean, she's hit a couple threes already tonight. Yeah. But on that cross pass, she knew before she got the ball what was about to happen. She instantly drove to the left baseline, able to draw that contact.
22-6. All Lady Cats in the first quarter. Gonna give up an easy basket here. Michaela Linwood scores. And we are through one quarter, 22-8. Lady Cats up big. We'll take 60 seconds and come back on Conway Corp.
Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
DeBoard Electronics, a trusted name since 1952, is located at 650 Dave Ward Drive, 2 miles west of I-40. DeBoard Electronics offers state-of-the-art options to customize your Yamaha golf cart or your Polaris side-by-side and even your boat. With cutting-edge products, you will look good and sound good when you're cruising the water. So enjoy your time on the lake listening to your favorite tunes thanks to DeBoard Electronics, 650 Dave Ward Drive in Conway.
Big lead for the Lady Cats, 22-8 as we go to the second quarter.
Because of that lady right there,
Yep.
Chloe Clardy, 14 points in the first quarter, including 2 for 6 from behind the three-point line.
Lydia York gets in and ties it up and gets the steal.
Goes to the Lady Cats.
Yeah, look, took Clardy a minute to get going, but once she did what she does. She just scores so effortlessly.
Personal foul on Lady Tigers number 3, Brianna Stuckey.
That is going to be the second on Brianna Stuckey. And the 5th team foul. That's King. Entry pass to Savannah Scott. She goes to the left hand, can't get it to fall. We're coming back the other way.
It's a tough pass inside, executed well,
Yeah.
just couldn't quite convert.
And I like to see Savannah and really any post player, boy or girl, be able to go to both hands. I mean, you want them to be able to go up with the left hand on that side of the basket. They use their right hand to protect a little bit and go up. And so even though the shot was missed, that's from a fundamental standpoint what you'd like to see. Jump ball. Going to stay on this end this time.
Possession goes to Central.
Rector showing off the quick hands.
Yeah. Blocked by Scott. Outlet to Lydia York. Good hustle on the defensive end by Head. Didn't give up the easy layup and ended up keeping the points from being scored. Tipped. Another jump ball. Going back this way.
Possession Lady Cats.
Kalena King has been given some good minutes tonight.
Place of Jada Pickens in the starting lineup. Lady Cats playing without 2 starters, of course. Jaden Thomas is out for an unknown amount of time, and they're going to make sure that she's 100%, obviously, before she comes back. And late February, early March is when you're really going to need 24 on the court. It's 15 points a game that the Lady Cats are missing when Jaden's on the sideline.
We talk about Chloe's increase in points per game here in conference, but most of it's been out of necessity.
That's right.
Jump ball.
Doesn't make it any less impressive, but they've definitely needed her to produce a little more offensively.
Timeout on the court. 6:08 to play in the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Court.
This is my home. And here's my hot water heater, located right above my living room. And here's the mess it made when it leaked. Really leaked. Kind of throws off the ambiance, don't you think? Well, I stayed calm and called the experts at All Clean Restoration. So here it is, my living room before the water damage and my living room after. Or as I like to think, my living room before All Clean, my living room after All Clean. All Clean Restoration, proudly serving all of Arkansas.
Lady Cats breaking the huddle and making their way back onto the defensive end of the court as Central will have it. Lady Cats have been held scoreless so far in the second quarter. See if they can change that right here after getting a steal. Loose ball. Still loose, fighting for it. There's King. Kalena King.
Basket for Lady.
King taking some little bit of sloppy play there and making it look like it was all on purpose.
14-point lead.
Maya Boxley in the game now.
We saw some impressive shooting from her in a blowout win in the junior varsity game prior to this.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there was someone up here saying, man, she's shooting good. Maybe they should try and get her in the varsity game.
It had the same voice
I know.
that I'm hearing now.
Yeah.
Yours.
She wasn't the only one shooting really well in that JV game. So
No, but she got into a rhythm, and she had 2 or 3 in a row. Looked very comfortable shooting the basketball.
like you mentioned, 2 starters out tonight. Got a little bit of an opportunity to maybe get some of those younger players some minutes.
T. Rector at the free throw line. The senior has scored 5 so far. Lead out to 15. Obviously, the conference schedule is a home and home with everybody you play, so it's 14 games in the conference season. So the first half of them, 7 games, even though we've only seen this team play twice, they've only got a couple more games to go, and then we're already through that first round.
Yeah.
Have a real good idea of who's going to do what on both the boys and the girls side.
Part of the weirdness of having those 3 away games early in the conference season is, well, we'll get the flip side of that.
That's right.
In the second half, we'll have 3 home games when playoff seeding will be oh so crucial.
Those 3 games will happen within a week's time of each other. Tuesday night, the 11th against North Little Rock. Friday night, the 14th against Cabot. And Tuesday night, the 18th against Northside. All here at Buzz Bowling Arena.
I was looking at those 3 road games and, looking at the stats from each one. I really think that the North Little Rock game might have impressed me the most. I know North Little Rock is down a little bit in terms of just not as many talented, just crazy talented players like they've had in the past.
Right.
Still have a great post player. But for you to go on the road and play there, and it's the first road conference game for 2 of your starters, it's not an easy place to play.
That's right.
Even if they are a little down. And they just went in there and handled it. Almost a 30-point win.
76-47 they won that night.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier they went over the 20-point mark in the first 3 quarters.
Wow. They went over the 20-point mark in the first quarter tonight, but they have hit the skids here. Only 5 points scored in the first 3 minutes of quarter number 2. Boxley. See if she will stay hot. In front of the rim, no good. Basket's good by Lillian Jackson.
That's not the first time tonight they've gotten beat in transition. It's got to be a little frustrating for Coach.
Personal foul on Central's number 12, Lillian Jackson, her first team's 9. At the line for Lady Cats.
We've talked about it several times throughout the last few years. Those nights when you are struggling a little bit, best thing you can do is get to that free throw line, which, again, makes that north side stat so unbelievable to me.
And if you missed it, 25 more free throws.
Yeah, attempted. At the north side game on Tuesday this week.
Yeah.
Northside had 28 free throw attempts to just 3 for Conway. It's just very, very strange.
Yeah, that's it's not accurate. the fouls were not called. There's no way. just in the normal course of a game, you're going to get more. Be the 10th team foul, so 2 free throws the rest of the way. 16 points on the night for Clardy. Again, she's averaged 27 a game since we've entered conference play, and these 4 games played without her running mate, Jaden Thomas.
Well, and she's already made twice as many free throws tonight in the first half than the entire team got to shoot at Northside. I'm going to keep harping on that.
I think it's worth it.
It's unbelievable to me.
31-12. Going to get Boxley for a foul. That'll be the 6th team foul. Haley Malcolm checks in. Good hands. Well, I thought they were. Lydia, it looked like she got all ball, but must have got a little bit of the body. No argument from her. So first on Lydia York and the 7th team foul.
We've talked a lot about the freshmen, how great they've been, and they have been. But you just love it when you can get to a senior season for someone like Lydia York, who, has come in spots the last, she got some minutes off the bench a year ago. But now to get her full senior season and the contributions she's been making, both offensively and defensively, it's just a fun thing to see when those seniors who don't get a lot of playing time, their sophomore and junior year, but they stick it out and then get that opportunity. It's fun to watch.
Fouls on Lillian Jackson. Lady Cats will be shooting 2 the rest of the way in this first half. Haley Malcolm steps to the line, 6-foot junior forward. Knocks down the first. And the Lady Cats find themselves up by 20. 4 minutes to play in quarter number 2. Battle underneath. It'll be a foul on Clardy.
Personal foul on the Lady Cats, number 13, Chloe Clardy, first.
That's her first.
At the line for the Lady Tigers,
Just looking up to see how many fouls she had. Got to see that points total.
Yeah.
18 already.
Yes.
Wow.
Malcolm pulls down the missed free throw rebound. Asked for it. Good idea. Couldn't come up with the pass. Lydia's doing all she can do, but they're going to get her for another foul. Second on Lydia York. Still 1-1. And this is a most unusual free throw style for this particular young lady. She's a left-handed shooter, and obviously the rule is you can go anywhere along that line that you want. Usually, players will stand there in the middle. She stands as far to the right as she can stand and knocks it down.
Is it like some bowlers do that?
Yes.
They know that they're going to have a little bit of drift. That's how I did it in the old Wii bowling days.
Did you?
Yeah. Good strategy.
I, for half a second, thought you meant like a junior bowling program.
Like Pee-wee bowling.
Like, yeah, Pee-wee.
no,
you mean
Nintendo Wii
I got
bowling.
you. Forgot who I was dealing with. Wii bowling. Lydia York. Too strong. Going to stay on this end. Oh, they're going to say it's off Haley Malcolm. I made the mistake of assuming I knew what I was talking about. Kalina King and Savannah Scott step back in. Good crowd on hand tonight. That's good to see. Our camera person, Maggie Risley, who's down on the courtside camera, doing a great job showing us some of those fans. And she's got a good eye for the cute kids. I don't know if you've been watching. Keep an eye out because she is finding some cute kids. And whenever you've got a blowout, you're looking for cute kids. Scott, you imagine they've done that a time or two.
Right.
Clardy with the assist. Savannah Scott with the easy basket.
That's her first 2 points of the night. Good to see one finally go down for her. She's had a lot of opportunities, but just touch hasn't quite been there tonight.
Alex Jolivet steps in for the first time tonight. 20-point lead for the Lady Cats. 2.5 to play in the first half. Entry pass to Scott. Jolivet for three. Steps off the bench onto the court and knocks down the three. Easy as that. 38-15. Blocked. Savannah Scott blocked it without leaving her feet. Out of bounds off of Conway, so it'll be Little Rock Central basketball.
This is Alex's first minutes since the North Little Rock game.
Grace Kennedy is in the game, number 44. Knocked away. T. Rector. The kick out to Chloe Clardy. She's hit 2 3-pointers tonight, is that right?
At least 2.
Just taken away by Tawana Rector. And she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Good, strong hands.
It's an underrated skill.
Yes, it is.
Stats has confirmed Chloe Clardy, Clardy B.
Yes.
As her shirt, the back of her shirt says, 2 threes made tonight.
Okay. Free throw good for T. Rector. She shoots 61.5% from the free throw line. Side of the rim, no good. Kennedy and Jolivet battle for the rebound. It goes out of bounds off Alex Jolivet. And Grace Kennedy's in the game. Checked in a few moments ago, making her presence felt. Galena. King losing control of it. It goes out of bounds. (39-15). That's Pendleton. She's been held to 2 points. She's their best player. Ouch. They call her for the travel. Pass a little bit out in front of Alex Jolivet. And unable to control it.
Yeah, Clardy giving that long outlet pass, giving Jolivet plenty of time to try and catch up, just stretching her out a little bit. Go T. Rector again.
Another jump ball.
It's the third time we've seen that happen tonight.
Yep.
Well, Coach Hutchcraft talked about it back when I got to sit down with her before conference started. She talked a lot about how Rector has just been the surprise of the season, the minutes and big points that she's put up in crucial times for this team.
Another basket for Savannah Scott, 41-17. Final half minute of the first half. Pendleton misses a shot. Clardy with the rebound. Outlet to Jolivet. She's all by herself. Alex will convert. 43-17. Knocked away. Clardy with the steal.
Clardy.
All Lady Cats. They didn't score in the first 2 minutes of this quarter. They ended up scoring 23 in the last 6 minutes. It is 45-17 at halftime. It is time now for the Conroy Regional Health System halftime show.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Stapleton, and this is your Wampus Cat Spotlight. The Conway bowling team has had one of their best years yet. They have worked so hard this year and have won 5 of their matches. Their most recent one was this past Wednesday against Russellville, which they won. The team is losing 10 seniors between the boys and girls team. Senior Candace Slayton says that the thing that she'll miss most about bowling is having the team as her second family. We're all different, but this one thing in common brought us together, she says. Good luck to our Alley Cats as they are having a meet against Conway Christian tonight. Have a great night and go Cats.
Education is all about vision. It requires commitment, investment. So we pour ourselves into Conway students and teachers, schools, and scholarships. A brighter future? Now that's powerful. Conway Corp. Always on.
We start the second half, and the Lady Cats are up big, 45-17, Levi.
18 points for Chloe Clardy in the first half. T. Rector also in double digits with 10. The big statistic of note is that Central has had 25 turnovers in one half. It's a number you expect to see maybe for the entire game if you're having a bad night.
Yeah.
But extremely bad first half for them turning the ball over, and that's where about a third of Conway's points come from, is off of turnovers.
Lydia York starts the scoring with a three-pointer.
And you know, you mentioned it. Lady Cats started slow both the first quarter and second quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
But still ended up with over 20 points in each of those two quarters, and a lot of it, I think, having to do with just getting so many more possessions by creating those turnovers.
Free throw bounces around and in.
One thing I was thinking about a lot in the first half and at halftime as well, thought we were going to see a three-pointer go in, is how lucky, and it's not all luck. I mean, I know these kids work really hard, but just the length of success we've had. I mean, this is a decade now with Coach Coach Hutchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at this Central team, and you know they've had some really great years during that 10-year stretch, but it's all been reliant on these big D1 type players just coming up and having them for a few years. And you know, obviously they're struggling now and last year. It just is impressive to me. We've gone a whole decade of just really solid, no real ups and downs. It's all been consistently on the higher end of performance.
Yeah, there has been no drop-off at all. There have been players come and go. There have been Division I level talent. There's been Division II level talent and everything in between. But you've seen a consistency in the program that has developed results, which has been deep runs in March and all the way to Hot Springs on a number of occasions. And this team has definitely got the goods to get there again. 24 points now for Chloe Clardy, the freshman, leading scorer for the Lady Cats. She's coming off back-to-back 30-point games, and she's well on her way to another one.
It's another thing that makes that 2-1 run on the road these last few weeks so impressive, is that this is a team doing this that is nowhere near full strength.
No.
And so you just hope, you know, maybe Jaden will be able to come back in the second half at some point. And if this team can get healthy at the right time and all this experience that these two freshmen have been getting, it's going to be a formidable team come state tournament time.
Great dish from Chloe Clardy to Savannah Scott. 54-21. Lady Cats up big.
The other part about going 2-1 during that tough stretch is that they've set themselves up so well for that 2 seed now.
That's right.
Because they've already beaten North Little Rock and Cabot on the road. So now both of those teams are going to have to come here to try and knock them out of that 2 spot. And then, you know, if all goes well and you happen to catch Northside off one night, maybe you can play yourself into that 1 spot if everything works just right. No, we've got several weeks still yet to talk about that. But those 2 road wins, 2 out of the 3 last week, really have put this Lady Cat team in a really good spot to be in that 2 seed. And that's going to be hugely important when we get to the state tournament, because you don't want to be on the same side as Northside.
You're already going to have to deal with the Bentonvilles of the world. They're very good. Fayetteville is good. They've got the McDonald's All-American and Sasha Goforth that is committed and signed to play at Oregon State, who's a top 5 national program. And girls basketball in our state is really, really it's at a level that can compete nationally in individuals and teams. And, you know, a lot of that happens right here in our hometown. That's something that I know a lot of people are proud of, and the hard work that's done really when these girls are young, much younger than they ever put on a jersey that says Conway on it. Good dish inside. Lydia York with the pass to Savannah Scott. 56-23 and a timeout called by Little Rock Central. We'll take a timeout with the teams on the court. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway court.
We are Conway's legacy. Just like our family, Conway continues to grow and thrive.
And at Legacy Fencing, we will continue to maintain the level of quality and service that we've provided for the last 2 decades.
From our friendly and helpful office staff to our outstanding installers, to our shop foremen and even our college interns, fencing will not only be our legacy, but yours.
And that's why at Legacy Fencing we say, it's fencing for a lifetime.
Lady Cats gathered around Ashley Hutchcraft, and when you talk about that program and the fact that there's been no letdown, everything that's gone on that's been positive, it begins with her. I mean, she's the leader of this program from the top down.
I believe she told me this is year number 10 for her, so that's why I've been throwing out that decade, because it's been a decade of Coach Hutchcraft here at Conway, and Conway Lady Cats program has had success before she got here, but it's of course just gone to a whole other level of consistency since she came in, and it's so true what you said earlier about it's really the system that's been created at the lower levels, the younger levels, all the way through junior high and the success they're having there, and then it just feeds into this high school program.
I mentioned earlier about my girlfriend's son Drew, who plays for the 9th grade Conway Blue side, and so whenever he plays, obviously we get to the games early enough that we get to see the Blue side girls play, and it's just like watching a miniature version of the Lady Cats. I mean, it's the defense that they run, the way that there are players who fill roles perfectly. It's very, very impressive, and you see, and you saw that when those girls were 8th graders too, and younger, and so it's an exciting time, and we're kind of going on and on about it. You've got 4 more years with the Chloe Clardy's and the Savannah Scotts of the world, and 3 more years with Jaden Thomas. But even beyond that, you're going to have talented players who are coming through the system. T. Rector fell awkwardly on that left arm.
It's one thing about these hard courts, they no give.
They don't give. No, you're right. It is a no give court period. So there will be free throws taken here.
Very kind to give her a little bit extra time here to seem like she might have lost her breath a little bit from that hard fall. It's going to be hard to shoot these free throws.
Knocks down the first. She's got 9 points. She has definitely taken advantage of an opportunity to start since Jaden Thomas has been hurt.
Yeah, she had 10 points in the first half. 5 of them came from the free throw line. Free throw line very kind to this team in the first half, 14 of 18.
Maya Boxley checks in. (57-23). King along the baseline. Elena King. She's starting tonight in place of Jada Pickens, who is here tonight, and she's in street clothes, not dressed out for the game. Blocked from behind by Savannah Scott, and it goes out of bounds off Little Rock Central.
That's block number 2 for Savannah tonight. This team averaging 3 blocks a game.
Coach Michael B. Green did his standard move again. Just leaned back, threw his arms up. What do you do?
What do you do, right? I get it. I feel that a lot.
Jolivet has her shot blocked. Coming back the other way. Lydia York got a hand on it, couldn't get the steal. Pendleton. Dish goes out of bounds. It will belong to Conway. Michaela Reed checks in the game, number 23. So you've got Haley Malcolm, Michaela Reed, Maya Boxley, Alex Jolivet, and Kalena King on the court for Coach Hutchcraft.
I think this might be the first time tonight no Chloe Clardy on the court.
I believe you're right.
She's earned a breather. She's had herself quite the first half.
We'll see if she gets back in the game at all. She's not quite to the 30-point mark where she's been the last 2 games. Pendleton in the lane. Boxley. Long 3, couldn't get it to fall.
It's a nice luxury for these Lady Cats to have, to be able to build up enough of a lead in the first half to let some of your starters rest more so here in the second half, as they, we can't say it enough. The stretch they just went through is the toughest stretch they're going to have all season. Because when they face those teams again, they're going to be here. It's just going to be a little bit easier just by virtue of being home. So nice that you can get this tonight and maybe give some of these players a little rest. You don't want to we've talked about Chloe, especially the points burden that she's had with Jaden being out here in conference. Don't want to overdo it too much here in this first half.
And when you're talking about the first half,
first half of
the conference season,
yeah.
Right. I didn't want anybody to fill up the YouTube link with Levi doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well,
but he does.
You know, there may be some truth to that at times.
I got your back. You know what you're talking about. Up and in. Maya Boxley. She can score. Michaela Reed.
Michaela Reed already with 2 fouls quickly here in the third quarter.
Barely 2 minutes. Out of bounds. Stay on this end. Michaela Linwood will check in for Coach Green. We'll, of course, have the second half of the doubleheader coming up in just a few minutes. And it should really be a good boys game.
Yeah, Central boys scare me.
Same. Yeah, they are better than that record indicates.
Yeah, they've gone through a rough stretch. And they're just getting better, it seems like, every year. And I'm waiting for that breakout year for this team. I don't really want it to come, though. As long as I'm here on the Conway side.
Their conference season began with games against North Little Rock, Fort Smith Northside, and Bryant. And so they had a tough stretch to the beginning of their year. Lost those first 3, but they're coming off of a win over Cabot on Tuesday night.
I think Coach Hutchcraft might have to find more ways to get Maya Boxley on the court. Official sending her the ball a little earlier than she was expecting it.
Back of the rim, no good on the free throw attempt. Boxley is a sophomore. 5'5". She can score the basketball. We saw that often in the JV game.
That's the fun thing about games like this, where you get more opportunities to bring other players in, as you kind of get a little glimpse into what the future might look like.
That's right. Grace Canada's in the game. Out of bounds, going to stay on Conway basketball.
Alex Jolivet has had a good game tonight, too.
Yes.
5 quick points in the first half. A nice little defensive move there.
Good ball movement by Little Rock Central, not able to convert. The outlet to King. The outlet to Boxley. And Kalena King gets the shot to fall. Boxley filling up the stat sheet. 3 fouls, 3 points. You will know that she was here tonight. Those guys on the TV going to keep talking about her. Deep three-pointer, no good.
Well, if you think about it, she's played almost a full game already.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight.
And now she's pulling up for 3. Back of the rim, no good. Kalena King gets the long rebound. Michaela Reed. Lady Cats up big, 66-28. 40-point, almost a 40-point lead. 38-point lead. Clock's going to run when we come back.
It is going to run fast.
Buckle up. All right, 60-second break. The fourth quarter's next on Conway Court.
In 1916, Smith Ford opened its doors in Conway and began building a legacy that today is over a century old and still going strong. Now let's put this into perspective. When Smith Ford started out, their cars looked like this. Today, they look like this. Outstanding customer service. At Smith Ford, they don't just say it, they define it. You just don't live to see 100 unless you're living right, eating right, or selling right. Smith Ford has been doing all 3 since 1916.
From setting the budget to signing the papers, we guide you through the home buying process and get you the key. Making better happen with First Security.
Central.
66-28 as we begin the fourth quarter. And so they did it again. 3 20-point quarters.
Very
First
nice.
3. Probably not going to happen in the fourth quarter.
I don't know. Have you seen the way these girls have been playing?
That's true.
They are not afraid to shoot.
I would think with the running clock, though, it'd just be hard to get enough shots up. But
Yeah.
it could happen.
Lacey Larkin's in the game now, too. She also was putting up a lot of threes in that JV game.
Yes, she was. And she also hit a couple a week or 2 weeks ago when we saw this team play against Southside. Pendleton coming back the other way. Gets the basket to go. 66-30.
Final stats for Chloe Clardy, 24 points tonight. 6 of 7 from the free throw line.
Good ball movement. Reed finds Larkins. I was listening to a basketball analyst today who was talking about something that you've talked about for years with this team, and it's the volume. How if you've got a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers, if they can make more than a third of those three-pointers, and you've got another team that shoots just primarily two-pointers, they've got to make more than half of those.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to win. I mean, the math just doesn't work out. And this team, and you talk about this program, you see that in the younger players too. They shoot the basketball.
Yeah, tonight's a perfect example of it too, because Lady Cats didn't even shoot that well from the 3 tonight. Only 6 of 22, so 27%. But Central 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Hadn't even made a three-pointer tonight. So it's just as Andrew Yang would say, it's math.
That's right. It's math.
And then you combine that with all the turnovers that this Lady Cat defense forces.
More math.
I said it earlier, but a third of Conway's points come off of turnovers.
66-31. Lady Cats going to improve to 15-4 overall. They will be 4-1 in conference play. Mount St. Mary is the opponent on Tuesday night. And then it's Bryant a week from tonight. Back here at Buzz Bowling Arena. Michaela Reed gets the steal. or gets the basketball, was on this end. Loose ball, and she is working out there.
Yeah, she almost tipped a rebound back on that last attempt, too.
That Bryant game looks like it's going to be a good one. They are 11-5 overall and 3-1 in conference play. They're taking on Cabot tonight. That'll be our next home game 1 week from tonight. Some more Lady Cats checking into the game. Carson Roach is in. Jamisa Johnson is in the game.
Maya Boxley didn't know it was time to come out. Guess her person didn't let her know.
A couple of games ago, when UCA Sugar Bears were taking on someone, I forget who it was. A similar situation happened where Chandler Van Zant, the basket situation occurred where they didn't get a player off the court, so they had 6 on the court. And the referee said to Coach Sandra Rushing, she said, Coach, you got 6. And she was like, I was going to see if y'all would notice.
Well, you know.
If you can get away with it, you won't, but.
Yeah, it's even harder to get away with it in basketball.
Oh, right, yeah.
Got you a score update. You mentioned the Cabot and Bryant game.
Yes.
Into the third quarter, our friend Jeremy Muck with the scoring update. Cabot 45, Bryant 31. So it looks like Cabot's going to take that one tonight.
The big game tonight, the big matchup, is happening in North Little Rock as Fort Smith Northside is at North Little Rock. And, you know, we'll see that North Little Rock team in a couple of weeks. And they have a player, Bryson Warren, who is a 9th grader for them. And following the Conway game last week, he was offered by Eric Musselman and the Razorbacks. And so that game is featuring Jalen Williams, who's signed to be a Hog, and Bryson Warren, who has been offered a chance to play there. And the girls' game, obviously, has got all kinds of talent.
Yeah, and I got a score update for you from that.
Okay.
Close one. At the end of the third quarter, Northside just up 47-41
Wow.
on North Little Rock.
North Little Rock playing them tough.
Be nice of North Little Rock if they could just knock them off tonight. That'd be great. You definitely don't expect it. I remember, 2 years ago we had those 3 teams were just so evenly matched.
Yes.
North Little Rock, Northside, and Conway on the girls' side. And, you know, it ended up coming down to free throws at the end of the season, and Conway got the 1 seed. Just because of a few made free throws in one of those games that made a big difference. Northside, I would say, is definitely the favorite out of that bunch this year. Conway a strong number 2.
The difference in them is just experience.
Yeah.
That's Brashears and Wolfenbarger with a few years under their belt. And our top players are 9th and 10th graders.
Yeah.
And dealing with injuries.
Well, and that free throw differential. Take another opportunity to bring that up.
Yeah, 28-3, the free throw difference as far as attempts go on Tuesday night. I assume it's been closer here tonight?
Well, let me see. Pull up my latest stats from the old Stats Master. 22 attempts for Conway, made 16, and 12 attempts for Little Rock Central.
3-pointer. Chandler Van Zant knocks it down. (71-36).
Chandler Van Zant wearing number 1.
Yeah, there is
10 on the roster.
Yeah, there's some other changes to that I'm making note of prior to next Friday.
Some Jersey funny business going on.
1 minute to play.
Personal foul on Central's number 32.
Players walking very slowly as that clock just continues to tick away. No rush. Tick, tick, tick.
Grace Canaday is in the game, also Kelsey Johnson. And Lauren Hill will shoot free throws. And
do both teams have a Lauren Hill? I thought you mentioned Lauren Hill for Central earlier, but maybe I made that up.
I think you did make that up. I may have.
See, I'm giving those people that say I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm giving them some evidence.
Lady Cat's going to win big. Final score, 73-36. Lady Cats improved to 15-4 overall and 4-1 in conference play. Look at some of the final stats from this game, and we'll get ready for the guys.
Yeah, 24 points for Chloe Clardy in just 2.5 quarters of action tonight. And 9 points for T. Rector. Solid defense from her all night. Savannah Scott had 8, and Lydia York with 7. And Kalena King, some big minutes getting the start tonight. She finished with 6 points. Free throw shooting huge for your Lady Cats. They shot over 70% from the free throw line tonight.
73-36 the final score. We will take a break here between games. We'll have some slides and some music that'll be on, so if you need to step away for a few minutes, we'll have about 10 minutes between games, and we'll come back and have the starting lineup for you as our doubleheader continues. The guys are coming up next. Little Rock Central taking on your Conway Wampus Cats. It's coming up on Conway Court.
Centennial Bank builds relationships. That's why our bankers roll up their sleeves to support Conway and Faulkner County. They are folks you know and value for mortgages, business loans, and all your personal banking needs. Community involvement and exceptional service from people you know. That's the Centennial Bank way. Centennial Bank's legacy started right here in Conway, and it's still growing. Centennial Bank, building legacies, one relationship at a time.
Hey, welcome to David's. I'm Alan Bubbass, and this is my father, David Bubbass. We want to welcome you in to try our great beef, grade A choice chuck that you can see in display, all you can eat fries, and a little ice cream at the end. Come experience some of the cutest kids. Bring your cute kids too. We'd love to serve you. At David's Burgers, we're proud supporters of the Call in Arkansas.
And you can find out more online about ways to get involved.
Here are the starting lineups. First,
Welcome back to Buzz Bowling Arena. Jeff and Levi with you as we are getting the starting lineups introduced for the boys game. Little Rock Central comes in 8-9, 1-3 in conference play. Their starters are sophomore Cody Robinson, senior Jeremiah Jones, number 12 Daniel Washington, number 32 Corey Camper Jr., number 35 CJ Price. This is another very, very well-coached team. Brian Ross is as good a young coach as there is. He has got this program going the right direction, and they are absolutely loaded with athletes, and it will be an impressive display tonight. All right, let's join Tim Roach, PA announcer, for the introduction of the starting lineup for the Wampus Cats.
and now, here's the starting lineup for your Conway Wampus Cats. At guard, a 6'4" senior, number 1, Caleb London. At guard, a 5'10" senior, number 2, Trey Collins. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 5, Chase Boyd. At guard, a 5'11" senior, number 10, Lucas Foster. And at center, a 6'5" junior, number 25, Jaden Williams.
There are your starters from Coach Brian Longing. Salty's got this team playing some good basketball right now, Levi. They are 12-4 overall, 2-2 in conference play, and a good look at the 5 guys who are leading the way for the Cats right now.
And coming off of, this is going to sound strange, but coming off of as an impressive of a loss as you could have. I know it's a weird thing to say, but they went to Northside, the defending state champions, took them to overtime at their place, only lost by 3 points. Very impressed to see how they performed in a very tough place to play. And they took the defending champs all the way to the wire.
Well, and to make matters even worse, they dug themselves a hole. They were trailing 13-2 early on and came all the way back and took that game to overtime, losing late 54-51 in the extra frame.
What is it about playing Northside and having those 2-point quarters? They did that a year ago, too.
Steal by Little Rock Central, and they score first, but Jaden Williams answers quickly. Tied at 2.
What a feed from Caleb London. A soft finish from the big guy.
This Central team, as we said, they are athletic. Can't hold on to the ball there. Daniel Washington loses it. You look at their team and kind of looking at some of their non-conference, couple of the last few non-conference games they played, and also early part of the conference season. And the players who lead them in scoring each game is somebody different, it feels like, every night. Corey Camper Jr. scored 20 against Cabot their last game out. Prior to that, they had Bryant. In that game, Jeremiah Jones scored 19. He scored 21 and 22 in the last couple of non-conference games that they had. Then you've got Kyler Hudson, who doesn't even start. He scored a dozen points against Cabot. So they've got some players who can put the basketball through the hoop.
And we talked about how the Lady Cats went through such a rough part of their schedule these past few weeks. Central started with the roughest part of their schedule. The 3 games that they've lost in conference, North Little Rock, Northside, and Bryant. They played Bryant within 5 points. That's a tough way to start the conference season. So this is a deceiving 1-3 conference team right now.
Three-pointer from the corner is good. It's Cody Robinson, sophomore, knocks down the 3. Caleb London, leading scorer for the Wampus Cats. Can't get it to fall. He's averaging 19 a game, the Arkansas State signee. Spin move, the dish to Washington, knocked away. Good hands by Trey Tull. Trey with the dish. Goes out of bounds, off of the defender, Corey Camper Jr.
Saw great instincts there by London, pulling those hands back after he saw that it was being deflected. Didn't want to be the last one to touch it.
Kyler Hudson, who we mentioned a moment ago, scored 12 against Cabot. He's the first player off the bench for Coach Brian Ross and Little Rock Central. Chase Boyd. And that is Caleb London. Top of the key.
He called it.
Off the glass with the shrug.
He did not call it.
Counts all the same. 7-5. First three of the night for Caleb London.
The shrug was a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Good move in the paint. Can't get it to go. It's Jeremiah Jones with the miss. And then he will be whistled for the foul.
Personal foul on the Tigers, number 5, Jeremiah Jones. His first, team's first.
First foul of the night called on either side. Cats are on the road next week at Catholic. And then home for Bryant.
Central coming out in a zone defense.
Yeah.
He's such a great
Same.
follow if you're if you're deep into basketball.
It's a tweet from Cynthia Baker. Good to see her checking in with us. 7-5. Conway on top.
Camper's father,
Corey Camper Sr.?
yes,
Okay.
played wide receiver at Brinkley.
Oh,
Well, you know who else played at Brinkley?
I do know that.
Played quarterback.
Yeah.
As a sophomore.
We know him as Stats.
The one and only Stats. He pointed out his father and also Corey's uncle. His uncle's wearing Wampus Cat blue, which I just find very comical.
That is not any of the people you were just mentioning.
No.
That is some of our students who are wearing white. A lot of them wearing white tonight. It is a white out. Saw some Conway blue mixed in there as well. 8-7. Tigers on top by a point. Good dish in the lane. Can't get it to go. Here comes Chase Boyd in transition. Chase, good job to get around the defender. Didn't touch him. Kissed it off the glass. It's 9-8.
Impressive move, even more impressive finish. That's not a easy angle to get that ball up there.
Great hands.
Jaden Williams.
That's tall. Good hands on defense by Central there. 1 point game and a timeout going to be taken. We'll take it with them. 3:12 to go in the opening quarter. 30 seconds, and we're back on Conway Court.
You got insurance to protect your car against other drivers, but are you protecting it against the muddy disasters it faces every day? Zip's Dirt Insurance has you covered. It gives you unlimited washing at any of our convenient locations, starting at $14.95 a month. That's less than 50 cents a day. Protection to keep your car clean without worrying about muddy mishaps. Zip's Unlimited Wash Club. It's like having dirt insurance for your car. Zip in, zip out, zip on.
9-8 is the score, and we talked about Little Rock Central better than their 8-9 record. When you look at their non-conference, and they played some of the better teams in the state. West Memphis, Parkview, East End has got a great program that's still relatively new.
Yeah, a lot of these smaller classification schools that they played are still really good programs.
Oh, really good programs. Then they stepped out of state to play in some tournaments. So again, probably better than this 8-9 mark, and started off with the kind of most difficult a schedule as you can in the conference, and you got to play them all twice. So it doesn't really matter what order you play them in, but sometimes the 1-3 or whatever the record is can be a little bit deceiving.
It's one of those classic teams that if I saw them in the tournament, even as a 5 or 6 seed, I would still be a little nervous.
Same. Jaden Williams working hard, can't get it to go. Trey Tull tracks down the offensive rebound. Kicking it back to him is Chase Boyd. Caleb London, rise and fire. 6'4" senior guard. Shoots the basketball so smooth. He went over the 1,000-point mark in his career 2 weeks ago. Something that I discovered after the game, which I wish I would have known prior to the game. Did you know?
I did not.
Okay. I mean, I try to listen to you, but sometimes I don't hear everything you say. So I'd have felt really dumb if you made a big deal about it and I missed it.
Sometimes you just start tuning me out.
I don't mean to.
I get it.
I got a lot going on. Very busy.
Sometimes all you can do is like Coach Green and just
throw your hands up, lean back, and it's going to be all right.
I love Coach Green. I really do.
Girls coach for Little Rock Central is who Levi's talking about, who we've seen on the sidelines for years and years. That's Hudson to Robinson. Final 90 seconds of the first quarter. Another foul on the offensive end. Couple of possessions now that the Tigers have turned it over without ever getting a shot away because of an offensive foul.
Well, you're seeing a lot of, if you're watching off ball, you're seeing a lot of little hand shagging going on and just little push-offs, and they've been letting it go a little bit, but crosses a certain threshold and they have to call it.
London, back of the rim, too strong with that one. 1 point game. Out of bounds, going to be Conway ball.
I feel like I say this every year, but it's always such an adjustment. The speed of and style of play going from the girls' game to the guys' game. Things just a lot more half-court sets, but the quarters go so much faster.
Yeah.
It's really a really different pace.
Lucas Foster controls the dribble. Trey Tull can't get it to fall. Jaden Williams, the reverse.
Kind of feel like Trey Tull should get at least like half a point for effort on that one. Wow. Jaden Williams with strong pickup and put back.
Camper's shot no good. Ball being tipped around. Jaden hits it. Does about 4 barrel rolls. In the corner, 3, good. CJ Price. Conway up 3, 7 seconds to go. Excuse me, game is tied now at 14. Chase Boyd. Good look at it, couldn't get it to go. Good game so far, we're tied at 14, 60 seconds, and we're back on Conway Court.
Located on Robinson Avenue next to Laurel Park, the Conway Regional Rehabilitation Hospital is one of only 4 licensed inpatient rehab hospitals in the entire state. Patients are cared for by specially trained staff under the direction of an on-site physician who specializes in rehabilitation medicine. Conway Regional Rehab Hospital, your choice for comprehensive care to bring you one step closer to home.
We've played 8 minutes and we are tied at 14.
Here's a stat for you, Jeff. 12 of Central's 14 points in the first quarter coming off 3-point shots.
Okay.
4 3-pointers
4
made.
threes, okay. So some perimeter defense, looking for a little bit more of that.
Yes. been a lot of good ball movement from Central. And they've just had some open looks, so going to have to close that down. See Kyler Spencer in now for the Wampus Cats.
Big number 35, the 9th grader.
Hard to miss.
Yeah, he's 6'4", and fills a room, that's for sure. He has been an important part of this team as a 9th grader, giving some time to Jaden Williams when we need a little size on the court. Hudson with the basket. Except for Spencer, the other 4 on the court are the starters. Kyler with the follow, can't get it to go. Stolen away, good job by Trey Tull to step in the passing lane and draw the foul. That will be the 4th team foul on Little Rock Central. So the ball will be out of bounds to the Wampus Cats.
Smart foul there by Central is Tull, man. He's been pesky all season on that defensive side. Looked like he was about to finish with quick 2 points there.
Tried the pick and roll, wasn't there. Foster. Lucas with some space. Chase Boyd.
One basket, Chase Boyd.
17-16. Your Wampus Cats on top by a point.
Chase's 9th three-pointer made this season. Doesn't put up a lot of three-pointers for the Wampus Cats, but shooting at a good clip.
Kyler Spencer with the block.
Referee getting a little bump there.
See Jacoby Easley checking in the game for the first time, number 0. First time we saw him play was 2 weeks ago. We were impressed.
And that was his first minutes of the season. Coach mentioned he was going to start working him in slowly, and he put up good minutes, scored, I think, maybe 8 or 9 points in that game. I wonder how his minutes increased over these last 3 games.
Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Little Rock Central basketball. He's the second Wampus Cat off the bench tonight and the first guard. We're talking to him about tucking his shirt in now. (19-17). Tigers on top by 2. The tip goes. Shot had to be adjusted a little bit because of the big man in the middle. Cats trailing by 4. Tried the screen and roll there, but it couldn't get the pass into Spencer, and so a turnover. Ball back to Little Rock Central.
Those passing lanes on the interior have been hard to come by.
They're going to get Chase Boyd for it. That'll be his second. It's been interesting to, and you mentioned a moment ago, and I don't know, we completely finished the conversation about Coach Ross on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things that's been interesting is he and his staff's connections to a lot of the college programs that come through Little Rock, either to play against UALR
oh, yeah.
or to come up here and play UCA. I know He tweeted a couple of weeks ago that Sam Houston State, prior to their game at Ferris Center, stopped and had a practice at Little Rock Central. And the same with Texas Arlington. They practiced prior to their game against Little Rock. Take advantage of the historical nature, of course, of Little Rock Central, and also a chance to practice in their field house there. Timeout on the court. Tigers leading by 7. We will take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Court.
DeBoard Electronics, a trusted name since 1952, is located at 650 Dave Ward Drive, 2 miles west of I-40. DeBoard Electronics offers state-of-the-art options to customize your Yamaha golf cart or your Polaris side-by-side and even your boat. With cutting-edge products, you will look good and sound good when you're cruising the water. So enjoy your time on the lake listening to your favorite tunes thanks to DeBoard Electronics, 650 Dave Ward Drive in Conway.
7-point lead for Little Rock Central, 24-17.
Doesn't seem like much, but the way these two offenses have been flowing, 7-point lead, you don't want it to get much further beyond that, even here in the first half.
We were tied at 14 after the first quarter, so halfway through the second quarter, Cats have just added 3.
Another turnover there by Conway, and it's kind of been the story of this second quarter is turnovers, some of them unforced.
Robinson picked up by Lucas Foster. Good defense, Jacoby Easley. All over Jeremiah Jones. So big Jaden Williams come back in. And he will replace Kyler Spencer.
Just can't undervalue the minutes that Kyler provides. It's so important. I mean, you basically just have 2 centers. That's it.
Yep.
Not a lot of depth there. And the importance of staying out of foul trouble is going to be huge all season for those 2.
Well, the 3 tallest guys on the team, Jaden Williams is 6'5", Kyler's 6'4", and Caleb London is 6'4". That's it. And Caleb's going to play outside for the most part. He'll play the 4 on occasion, but obviously he'll stretch that out when necessary. But, yeah, there's just not a lot of depth at center. Kyler Hudson with the basket for Little Rock Central. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Xavier Robinson is in the game. Trey Tull. It's a good look at it. A little short.
Looking across the way, these Wampus Cat fans is a little sluggish right now.
Yeah.
I don't really blame them.
Team down by 9. Only scored 3 points in this quarter. Add 2 to that. Trey Tull. Good move to the basket.
Trey averaging 9.6 points per game. And so you look at this Conway offense, who's going to be that leading or that second leading scorer? Who's going to provide that help to Caleb London? Trey Tull is a good candidate for that.
Under 2 to play in the first half. 7-point game. Cody Robinson, sophomore, confidently knocks down that 3, and it is a 10-point lead for the visitors.
I believe that's the sixth or 7th three-pointer made by Central here in the first half.
Caleb will step back for 3. Jacoby Easley, great job on the offensive glass. He did not give up on it. Fought hard, got the basket, got fouled on his way to the basket, and will shoot 2 free throws. Little spark from Jacoby Easley.
Coach Long had hoped that Jacoby would be a big addition here in the second half of the season, getting into conference play, but you never quite know until you get him out there on the floor.
That's right.
I mean, this is just, his 5th game this season?
Yep, started when the conference season began, and they're 2-2 in conference play, so yep, game number 5.
He's doing the little things right to help keep him on the court. Stats pointing out 5 points
in the second quarter, yeah. Three-pointer. That one was too strong. Final 40 seconds of the first half. Cats could use some more points.
I think I shared an image with you guys this week. A year ago, we were at Central.
That's right.
They just added it.
Now they did.
Don't let them create doubt in you, Jeff.
No, I'm going to trust Javon more than I'm going to trust anybody else. She runs our scoreboard, and it's accurate. Foul away from the basketball. Or she's away from the goal. That's Caleb London. Lucas Foster's going to come in.
I trust Javon's judgment on most things, but when it comes to pepperoni or pineapple on a pizza,
that thing again.
Her judgment is not sound on that one. But everything else, I trust her.
Trust her just fine. Final 20 seconds here of the first half. If the Cats want to move to 3-2 in conference play, it'll have to be a come-from-behind win, as they will be trailing at halftime. Final few seconds here. And the deficit will be 11. 31-20, Little Rock Central has the lead. The second half is coming up. It's time now for the Conway Regional Health System halftime show.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Stapleton, and this is your Wampus Cat Spotlight. The Conway bowling team has had one of their best years yet. They have worked so hard this year and have won 5 of their matches. Their most recent one was this past Wednesday against Russellville, which they won. The team is losing 10 seniors between the boys and girls team. Senior Candace Slayton says that the thing that she will miss most about bowling is having the team as her second family. We're all different, but this one thing in common brought us together, she says. Good luck to our Alley Cats as they are having a meet against Conway Christian tonight. Have a great night and go Cats.
Education is all about vision. It requires commitment, investment. So we pour ourselves into Conway students and teachers, schools, and scholarships. A brighter future? Now that's powerful. Conway Corp. Always on.
Caleb London and the rest of the Wampus Cats making their way back out on the court. It's going to have to be a come-from-behind win if they're going to get the victory tonight, trailing by 11 at the start of the third quarter, 31-20.
Talked about volume in the Lady Cats game. It's kind of been the case here, but for Central, as Conway only 8 baskets made, 8 field goals made in the first half, 12 for Central, but 7 of those were three-pointers. Conway's just 3 of 8 from the three-point line and only 1 of 4 from the free throw line, so it's been a struggle to keep pace with this Central team. Has just been lights out from behind the arc.
21 of their 31 points coming from distance. Open look, halfway down and back out. And the offensive glass is cleaned up by Washington. Conway down 13. Good entry pass to Caleb London to the basket. Caleb has 8.
Led the Wampus Cats with just 6 points in the first half. Scoring spread out. Had 2 Wampus Cats with 5 points each, Trey Tull and Chase Boyd.
We call a foul that everyone that's cheering for Little Rock Central disagreed with.
Well, it's a little strange, too. He was furthest away from the action. Not that I'm supporting Central here.
Right.
Just commenting on what I saw.
That's fine. That's what we pay you to do. Comment on what you see. Through Wampus Cat blue colored glasses.
It's a fun gig, you know. You just watch basketball and talk about it.
It's not bad. Trey Tull can't get it to fall. And the rebound to Jeremiah Jones, but Conway gets it back. Charge. They will get Chase Boyd for it. That will be his third.
Charged is going to find Chase Boyd. That's his third foul.
Chase needed to look for the outlet there as 1 versus 3. Odds weren't really in his favor.
And with those 3 fouls, he'll have to have a seat, and Jacoby Easley will come back into the game. So it's Easley, Tull, and Foster in the backcourt. London and Williams down low.
We need Foster to get on a hot streak.
You do, yeah. And you're gonna have to. We're gonna have to have some possessions that come up with 3 at a time. Rebound. 1 Tiger there, and he gets it. And a foul. Not a good possession defensively for the Wampus Cats there. Kyler Spencer will come into the game. He will replace Jaden Williams. 5.5 to play in the third quarter. Out of bounds. Turnover.
About almost 3 minutes into this quarter. Just 2 points for your Wampus Cats. Something needs to happen to ignite this offense.
Tipped out of bounds. Stay on this end. Yeah, this is where we need a Caleb London 3 or 4 guys on the court that can all shoot the deep ball. I say 4. Kyler's been known to shoot a 3 in his life. Caleb London, strong to the basket, can't get it to fall.
See that Tiger defense collapsing, all 5 of them in the paint. Caleb was trying to get a shot up.
8th made 3-pointer by Little Rock Central, and they lead by 14.
Shooting doesn't always travel well, but it sure has tonight.
It has tonight. Going to be a block. Yeah, they have shot the ball very, very well. Again, losing their first 3 games of the conference season rather to North Little Rock, Fort Smith Northside, and Bryant. Then a win against Cabot and looking to get another one here tonight.
And that's what makes this game, especially this matchup, and of course we'll have it in a few more weeks at Central. These games are real important because, like you said, Northside, North Little Rock, Bryant, clearly the top 3 in the conference. Not much argument there. So you're conceivably playing here for that 4 seed.
Yeah. Kyler Hudson back in. (36-23).
Our friend Cynthia Baker on the YouTube chat. Let's get it, Wampus Cats. I know. That's what we're saying. Cynthia understands.
Maybe they'll take a tweet.
Cynthia, of course, I think is the grandmother of Jaden Williams.
She's in Oregon, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Out of bounds, going the other way. Oregon's got some great basketball right now. This is just an aside because I want to share this with you.
Okay.
The McDonald's All-American teams were announced last couple of days. And there was one Arkansas high school player who was selected, Sasha Goforth from Fayetteville, who's going to Oregon State, their top 5 national program. Oregon, the Ducks, had 5, and I think there are 15, maybe 20 that are named to that team. They have 5 McDonald's All-Americans go to play college basketball at Oregon.
So what you're saying is, in the next few tournaments, probably going to see Oregon making deep runs.
I would think. They've got a great program now. You know, it used to be UConn and everybody else, and now it's, I mean, there's good women's basketball played all over the country. Lucas Foster out, Xavier Robinson back in. Halfway through the third quarter, the Cats have scored 3 points in this quarter. That's easily to Tull. Entry pass to Caleb London. Soft over the rim, gets it to go. Just about, it could have been a goaltending call there. Got to be careful grabbing onto the rim at any point. Ball had fallen through the cylinder, so it was all right. 11-point game.
That made me nervous as well.
Three-pointer. Knocked it down, bottom of the net. 39-25. 9th made three-pointer of the night for Little Rock Central.
They obviously haven't been shooting like this all season.
It wouldn't seem that way.
Or at least not in the conference season. Or you would have expected them to maybe steal one of those first 3 games.
Basket's good. The lead is 16 points. Little Rock Central has come in and they're handling things right now. Cats got to find it. Let's take a break. 30 seconds, and we'll be back on Conway Corp.
This is my home, and here's my hot water heater, located right above my living room. And here's the mess it made when it leaked. Really leaked. Kind of throws off the ambiance, don't you think? Well, I stayed calm and called the experts at All Clean Restoration, so here it is. My living room before the water damage, and my living room after. Or as I like to think, my living room before All Clean, my living room after All Clean. All Clean Restoration, proudly serving all of Arkansas.
Coach Joey Moon, one of the assistants for the Wampus Cats, coaching the Carroll. Up and Coach Longing trying to find some answers here. Cats trail by 16.
Yeah, Camper Jr., 14 points for Central. Robinson with 11. 9 3-pointers for this Central team. Is kind of hope maybe that shooting would cool off a little bit after halftime. Spoiler alert, it has not.
Yeah, no such luck. They've just scored 10 points here in the in the third quarter, but 3 of them, 3 3-pointers, right, and a free throw.
Yeah. 10 points doesn't sound like a lot, but when Conway's only scored 5.
5, right. Yeah, trailing by 11, now trailing by 16. Cat's going to have to find it.
And the game plan has basically been, hey, we're gonna crash down on Caleb London anytime he gets the ball. So someone else is gonna have to beat us.
Third team foul called there.
You can see it. They're playing a man-to-man defense, but it's kind of it's not as tight of a man-to-man defense. They're kind of cheating back a little bit, waiting. Every time you see Caleb get it close to the lane, there's 4 or 5 black jerseys crashing down on him.
Turnover gives the ball back to Little Rock Central.
Crowd trying to come to life.
Yeah,
here.
trying to. Wampus Cat doing its part down there.
Seems like the crowd is thinned a little bit.
You know they're not afraid to shoot the 3. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Leading by 16, there's no reason at all for them to be in a hurry.
I said this earlier, but it's worth pointing out again. This is a team that would really frighten me if come state tournament time, they're the 4 or the 5. Not be an easy matchup in the first round.
Robinson can't get it to go. Xavier Robinson with the rebound. Chase Boyd trying to be a spark. Xavier Robinson. After the made basket, Coach Longing asking for pressure on the defensive end. Picked up his dribble, nobody on him. Pass to Jones. Back door. Call it on Kyler Spencer.
You might have heard someone in the audience say, on who?
On who, and that's the same face that Coach Longing is making. He missed the dunk. Jeremiah Jones at the free throw line.
Kyler did a great job of avoiding body contact. I guess they're saying he caught a little bit of the hand.
Trey Tull in for Caleb London. Second free throw is no good. 41-27, minute to go, third quarter.
Still just a single-digit quarter for your Wampus Cats here.
Trey Tull. That's what Coach was asking for, following the made basket, put some pressure. Central able to break it. Up and good. Cody Robinson.
Trey Tull getting
a hug.
Getting a little hug from the
all right.
referee. That official on the opposite end earlier, after one of several made three-pointers for Central, the net was kind of caught up in the rim, and
yeah.
he hopped up there and pulled it out. He still got some hops.
That was impressive.
I couldn't do it.
A lesser referee would have picked up a child and said, here, grab that for me. Kyler Spencer has it blocked. Kyler Hudson with the block. Lucas Foster in. Hit that. Front of the rim. Kyler Spencer battling for the rebound. That'll be the 6th team foul. So at least the Wampus Cats will be in the bonus for the rest of the game.
The first half, Wampus Cats were one for 4 from the free throw line.
And here comes the first try at it in this bonus situation.
They're now 2 for 6 on the night. Which 2 weeks ago we had heard coming in. We've seen the stats. They're not a great free throw shooting team. But 2 weeks ago they shot great from the free throw line.
They did.
75% on the night. Maybe they can recapture some of that magic.
First one good by Trey Tull. Chase Boyd will come in for Lucas Foster.
You mentioned it in the bonus the rest of the way. Start trying to get in that lane and create some contact. Slow the game down a little bit and try and chip away at that lead.
Down to 12. And following the made free throw, it allows for some pressure. That'll be the 5th team foul.
Personal foul, Wampus Cats number 5, Chase Boyd, his 4th.
That's the 4th on Boyd. Coach Longing trying to get Trey Tull, I believe. He's screaming Tull. 3 seconds to go. Watch for the lob. Instead, it's a give and go in the corner for 3. Good break for the Cats. That'd have been a tough one there. Already trailing by 12. But that is the advantage for Central as we go to the 4th quarter. 60-second break, and we're back for the 4th quarter on Conway Court.
We are Conway's legacy. Just like our family, Conway continues to grow and thrive.
And at Legacy Fencing, we will continue to maintain the level of quality and service that we've provided for the last 2 decades.
From our friendly and helpful office staff, to our outstanding installers, to our shop foremen, and even our college interns, fencing will not only be our legacy, but yours.
And that's why at Legacy Fencing we say, it's fencing for a lifetime.
In 1916, Smith Ford opened its doors in Conway and began building a legacy that today is over a century old and still going strong. Now let's put this into perspective. When Smith Ford started out, their cars looked like this. Today, they look like this. Outstanding customer service. At Smith Ford, they don't just say it, they define it. You just don't live to see 100 unless you're living right, eating right, or selling right. Smith Ford has been doing all 3 since 1916.
Wampus Cats were tied at the end of the first quarter. They trailed by 11 at halftime, and they trail by 12 as we go to the final 8 minutes.
It's really been all about the three-point shooting tonight for both teams.
Yeah.
Central, 9 of 13, 70%.
Wow.
Conway, 3 for 11.
70% from beyond
not
the three-point
70%.
line. Yeah, not 70%. Yeah, that's some pretty impressive shooting. Stolen away, Trey Tull. Is this the beginning of the comeback? 10-point game. Made basket allows for the pressure. Outlet. (45-33). Tull for 3. Xavier Robinson. Shoot a couple of free throws.
Smart play there by Xavier is going for the putback as he went up, feeling that contact coming in instead of bringing it down. Go ahead and get that foul and get to the line. only the 8th free throw attempt for Xavier on the season. City of Conway showing some support tonight.
Appreciate
on
that
YouTube.
very much. We need more of that. Still a 12-point game. Open lane. Cat's going to catch a break there. The layup was missed, and then the foul called on the Tigers. Coach Brian Ross, their talented young coach.
Into the ball game for the Wampus Cats, number 5, Chase Boyd, replacing Jacoby Easy.
Free throws, as we mentioned, the rest of the way here, so 1-1. Actually, following this 1-1 situation, will be 2 free throws the rest of the way. So this is definitely how you get back into games that you really don't have any business being in. You can go to the free throw line a lot. There's no time running off the clock. You hit some shots. And the second one is so big, not only for the point, but also because what it allows you to do defensively.
Right. To immediately set up and get into that full court press.
That's right.
Central has shown really no problems breaking so far.
First on Tull, and that is the 6th team foul. So now free throws will be upcoming for Central as well. Jones thought about the 3. Trey Tull and Andy Robertson meet. Andy, the sports writer for the Log Cabin, does a great job and also has a fantastic hat collection, just as an aside.
Oh, yeah?
Great hat collection.
He's wearing a hat tonight.
He's wearing a hat tonight.
He
He sits across from me at the UCA games, so I always see him there. Got a different lid on. A lot of them are Chicago teams, by the way. Appreciate everything Andy does to support local sports. We are fortunate to have not only the support of him, but also, of course, the work that you guys do at 501 and the newsletter that comes out weekly and the monthly stories in the magazine. 3-pointer off the front of the rim, no good. We'll actually have a chance in a couple of weeks to do something that we've never done before, and I'm going to lean heavily on you for that because your connection with the work you do at 501 Life Magazine. We will be, for the first time ever, broadcasting a St. Joseph and Conway Christian basketball game, and fortunately for our scheduling purposes, they're playing one another. So we will be broadcasting that game. We will not be live that night. It's February 4th. It's a Tuesday night. But on February 5th, the next night, the Wednesday, the game will be broadcast, tape delayed, as we have done for years. We still tape delay the games that we do live. You'll still see them on Channel 5 and 585 throughout the weeks that follow. But that'll be the case with the St. Joe and Conway Christian game. I'm excited about it.
Just happened to work out. It's an off week for Conway. And or they're off that Tuesday.
They're
at
off
least.
that Tuesday, yeah. And the Conway and St. Joseph playing one another. And so we can get our Conway Corp sports crew over there and do that game. I know that talked to the administration of both schools, seem to be excited about it. We're very excited about getting a chance to bring that game like we were able to do with the blue-white 9th grade football game, just trying to find some other opportunities to bring sports in the medium that we can. Those of you in print world, you get to write about different stories and different players, and those of us in the media and the video world never get the chance to broadcast these games. We certainly want to do that, so I'm looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. 10-point game, just under 6 minutes to play. 9-point game, down to single digits. Xavier Robinson got real close. Knocked away. Caleb London, good defense. Got all ball. Lucas Foster going to step back. Quickly inside. Going to be a charge. Tough break. That was a really good defensive possession that time.
Yeah, they finally got a takeaway. Looked like they were about to get some points and cut that lead even more. Caleb London just a little too hard with that push off.
Five and a half to go. Trailing by 9. Price for 3, no good. Camper the board.
Personal foul, Wampus Cats, number 1, Caleb London, who is
Fourth on Caleb London. And Kyler Hudson at the line.
Caleb having to expend so much more energy on both ends of the court this year. Of course, being asked to do even more offensively, which doesn't really seem possible as much as he has been doing the last 2 years. But defensively, he's been asked to do a lot. And you see how that plays out on a night like tonight with 4 fouls. It's just not something we saw very often a year ago.
This team trails by 10. Conway's got some guys that can shoot the basketball. Got to get streaky. Inside to London. Caleb. It's an 8-point game. Double team. We're going to get Lucas Foster. There's a lot of pressure on that defensively. Very close to a turnover a couple of times. You think the more that happens, obviously the better your chances are of getting one eventually.
We've seen it all night how disciplined this Central team is. A lot of that credit has to go to Coach Ross. But they're so disciplined with their passing, and then they're just so athletic to begin with.
Yeah.
That they've been able to break that press more often than not. We've really only seen the one turnover, and then that ended in an offensive foul on the other end for Conway.
Just under 5 to go. Cats trail by 10. They've got it down to 8 on a couple of occasions, but just not able to get past that. London. Central does a nice job breaking the press again. Double team, got close. And that's a backbreaker there. You get so close defensively, and then you're dealing with the 5th personal foul on one of your starters. So Chase Boyd is out of the game. That'll bring Jacoby Easley in. Your defense gets close. They don't get the steal. They allow a basket. See Landon Dunn sitting there next to Chase Boyd.
Yeah, Chase obviously frustrated with how the night is gone, and a lot of it has to go back to that second quarter, just 6 points.
3 free throws upcoming for Caleb London. He got close to knocking it down for a 4-point play, but we'll take the try here at 3 free throws and maybe cut it back down to 9.
Xavier Robinson trying to come in after that made free throw.
Got to wait one more.
Well, that's one of those rare situations. You know, you don't see a lot of fouls on the three-point attempts. It's not something you're used to.
18 now for Caleb London. All three are good, and the lead is 9. Just past the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Cats are going to have to get some stops defensively. There's one. Easily. Stolen away by Central. Misses the layup. Caleb London showing some emotion there. Trey Tull for 3. Got it. Timeout called by the Wampus Cats. Big sequence there. A missed layup. And then a three-pointer by Trey Tull. The lead is 6. It hasn't been this close since the first half. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Corp.
From setting the budget to signing the papers, we guide you through the home buying process and get you the key. Making better happen with First Security.
So a little life to the Wampus Cats here. Down by 6, 51-45 with 3:23 to go.
The crowd that has stayed finally has something to get a little excited about. There's still plenty of time left.
The Cats trailed by 12 to begin this quarter. Trailed by 11 at halftime after a tie game at the end of the first quarter. Going to get Foster for the foul. 2 free throws for both teams the rest of the way. That'll be the second on Lucas Foster. Caleb London, leading scorer for the Cats, averaging 19 a game. He scored 19 tonight, and he's playing with 4 personal fouls. So to watch number 1.
Yeah, and you've seen how that's affected him on these last few possessions. Yep. In that press, he just can't really try and cut it off because he just can't risk taking that many points off the floor.
That's right. Break for the Cats. Both free throws are missed. It's a 6-point game. Conway's got the basketball. Under 3 to go. Foster. Got it. Lucas Foster. It is a 3-point game. 2:40 to go. Lucas Foster, Jacoby Easley, Trey Tull, Caleb London, Xavier Robinson. The 5 on the court for Coach Longing, and they're going to get Xavier for the foul. That'll be his second.
Stats saying don't foul him.
Corey Camper Jr., 6'3", coming off a 20-point night against Cabot earlier in the week. That was their first conference win, 58-46. They lead by 4 over Conway. "17 points for Corey Camper Jr. and the lead back to 5. Two free throws upcoming. He did that thing where you try to throw the ball up and it looks like you were shooting.
Right.
But instead, it's just 2 free throws because of the more than 10 team fouls, double bonus.
I think they call that the Steph Curry.
I believe so. This generation certainly does.
Right.
All right, so Lucas Foster, good shooter of the basketball, is at the line. Four-point game. C.J. Price back in for Little Rock Central. Got them both. It's a three-point game. Just over 2 minutes to play. Double team. He picked up his dribble. Stolen away. Caleb London. 1 point game. Kyler Hudson stretches it back out to 3. A minute 45 to go. Clock runs. 3-point game. The Central fans making some noise. Chanting defense. 90 seconds to play. Skip past to Jacoby Easley. Ball fake and the shot, no good. No foul called. And a timeout. There was trouble in the backcourt, and Brian Ross gets a timeout before the turnover can happen. A minute 19 to play, and it's a 3-point game. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on Conway Court.
Helton's Wrecker U-Haul has the service you need. Whatever the automotive problem, Helton's has the diagnostics to repair it. If you're moving across town or across country, Helton's is your #1 choice for U-Haul in Conway. We have a wide selection of packing supplies for every aspect of your move. Also, we sell and install hitches. Call 327-4696 for a quote. At Helton's Wrecker U-Haul, we are always on our toes. Give us a call at 327-7681.
55-52. Cats have battled all the way back to make it a one-possession game. They trailed by 12 at the beginning of this quarter. Trailed by 11 at halftime. Really didn't show much life at all offensively, or we're doing nearly enough defensively either, but they've turned it up on both ends.
It's been a frustrating night, and they cut the lead to 1 point, and then a defensive lapse immediately puts it back out to 3.
So the reset here, possession arrow belongs to Conway. Both teams will shoot double bonus the rest of the way. 2 point-blank shots are missed. The Cats can tie with a three-pointer. Just over a minute to play. Foster thought about it, pulled it down. London, one-on-one. The hook won't go. Trailing by 3. The Cats are going to have to foul. Missed a great opportunity there to cut it to 1. 40 seconds. Coach Longing calling for the foul. Now Caleb London fouls, but he's got 4. Now he's got 5, and Caleb London has fouled out. Somebody had to foul, and they weren't calling anything.
Well, they missed
21 points.
They missed a golden opportunity to foul Jones when he had the balls. He's not been shooting particularly well from the free throw line tonight.
Coach Longing taking his entire 1 minute that he is allowed to use before he replaces a fouled out player. 21 points. Caleb London fouls out with 35 seconds to play. That free throw makes it a 2-possession game. Timeout taken. Conway has fought back Got it to within a point. Lead back out to 5 now. We'll keep it here during this timeout.
Well, you can certainly say this about the Wampus Cats. Very resilient, never gave up, somehow found a way to fight themselves back into it. But it's just been a frustrating night on both sides of the ball. Offensively in the first half, just not able to get much going. That second quarter, only 6 points, really put you behind the 8 ball. And then defensively on the perimeter, just no bueno tonight as Central has been lights out from the three-point line. And then they've just weathered this fourth quarter storm here from Conway.
One of the first things that you said there was that they never gave up. They kept fighting. And if this ends up in a loss, then that's going to be the story of these last 2 games. The 2 games this week, they were down 13-2 to Fort Smith Northside and took them to overtime. Lucas Foster for 3. Got it. 2-point game. And no matter what happens, if they come back and win, that's still going to be part of the story, is that they've dug themselves a hole but kept fighting, and found a way to make these games close. Again, took Tuesday night to overtime, got this one down to 2.
And that was the hallmark of this team a year ago, and it certainly carried over into this season. The likes of Trey Toll and Caleb London and Chase Boyd, and then newcomers like Xavier Robinson, Jaden Williams, the things they've been able to do, they're such a gritty team. Not a lot of depth. They're going to gut it out. And right now, I mean, if they can find a way somehow to get a stop and then set up, one last look at maybe trying to tie it or take the lead, all of this without Caleb London on the floor, your leading scorer for this last minute of action.
And it's my fault for not doing it before this point, but it's worth mentioning. You were talking about the depth, and I thought, well, they've only played, I think, 8 guys tonight. Jacoby Easley has come off the bench, Xavier Robinson, and Kyler Spencer. So that's it. Well, they're missing Paul Harris, who is the sophomore guard who can shoot the basketball. His mother works with me, and she said that he is actually suffering from concussions, and so he has had to be in the concussion protocol, and so hopefully back next week. But he hasn't been able to play, and someone with his ability to shoot the basketball would have been helpful to have that additional resource tonight. All right, so here's the situation. 2-point game, 2 free throws upcoming. Unless 2 free throws are made, it'll still be a 1-possession game. 57-55, Corey Camper Jr. Three-point game. A miss, and the Cats can tie with a three-pointer. A make, and the Cats will need it twice. They can tie it. 20 seconds. Trey Tull. Jacoby Easley looking for it. Back to Trey Tull. Timeout. Yeah, that was not working. So good timeout. Let's reset.
Option 1, not there. Option 2, not there. Option 3, timeout.
Yes, that was a good use. It's the last timeout that the Wampus Cats have. And this is really interesting, and you can't see it because of the players that are blocking, but I can tell you from our angle, it's Coach Joey Moon, who's one of the assistants, who has immediately sat down with the dry erase board and was drawing up this play. Coach Longin is next to him, Coach Harrell there as well, as they are watching, but Coach Moon, who's coached on the collegiate level, drawing up the play here. He's the 9th grade Whiteside head coach, helps out with the high school team, and getting a chance here to be a part of a very important moment. So the 5 on the court will be Jacoby Easley. It'll be Trey Tull. It'll be Lucas Foster. All 3 very competent three-point shooters. Xavier Robinson and Jaden Williams. Those are going to be your big guys that you'll rely on to get rebounds. Obviously, with three-pointers, the rebounds are going to come off differently. So all of that goes into effect. Let's see what Coach Joey Moon dialed up here. 11 seconds to play. Easley got open. Lucas Foster for three. Missed everything. Goes out of bounds. Jacoby Easley on the out-of-bounds play, very quick to get to the corner, but instead the pass to Foster. You could have possibly called a foul on that shot also. There was definitely some contact when he went high.
It was a very tough shot for him to coming off that screen, all of his momentum carrying away from the basket.
And unfortunately, he had time, 6 seconds here. He would have had time to maybe dribble out a little bit, but in a moment, took the shot, couldn't get it to fall. It's a 4-point game now. Trey Tull. Tough loss for the Cats tonight. Final score is going to be 59-55. There is 1/10 of a second to go. They'll throw it in and then clock will run out, and that's it. Final score 59-55. Central gets the win. They improved to 9-9 overall. They are 2-3 in conference play. The Cats fall to 12-5 overall and 2-3 in the 6A Central.
Caleb London tonight finishing with 21 points. Trey Tull, 15 points, the only other Wampus Cat in double figures. And Lucas Foster with 8 points. A lot of that coming here in this final quarter with his late three-pointer heroics. And, yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating night for your Wampus Cats. Second straight game with just couldn't quite get over the top.
Yep.
The good news is a lot of what we saw tonight, addressable perimeter defense. You can get back on the floor and start working on that. But you have to put this one behind you quickly as we get ready to head into next week.
Catholic early next week, and then Bryant a week from tonight back here at Buzz Bowling Arena, and we will have the broadcast for you live starting at 6 o'clock next Friday of Bryant and Conway. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, as always, to our friends at Conroy Regional Health System. You see their logo throughout the game, and we appreciate their partnership for another year of Wampus Cat sports. It means so much that they entrust us to get to tell the story of the Wampus Cats for you here in the city of Conway. Unfortunately, one good news, one bad news tonight, but we'll see how next Friday night goes. Thanks to our crew. Great job tonight, including some new folks that joined us, and you'll see all their names come up here in just a moment when the credits roll. We'll see you next week on Conway Court.